first, now this, called Ualli, which is one of the world's most accessible touchscreens. It's not just only large, it's also 4K, so it's better for people with low vision, for people who can actually see. It still is a little bit better because of the contrast ratios. It's also made to be something that can go up or down, or that is wheelchair accessible. Finally, accessibility is nothing without financial accessibility. And in trying to make the digital world accessible to people of all abilities, we've created North America's most efficient, large-scale touchscreen supply chain. What this means is that we can sell this for under $4,000, which is completely unknown in this market today. The reason why you would want this is, for example, you're a school. We've been working with a charter school that had a lot of problems with kids not having access to internet, not having access to technology, and they were able to really get even kids who couldn't speak English to understand math and symbolic concepts and being able to work with them on a screen of this size. So that was really, really useful for them. This is our first prototype that we built here called the Touch Easel. And we've since just been designing. This is our first prototype called the Touch Easel, and we've since been designing and redesigning it to get it simpler, more accessible, and more affordable for everybody involved. At the end of the day, what we're looking to do is to really get this product out there. So in getting this price point down for people with various abilities, we also realized this was something that you could use not just to educate your students, but to educate your customers. So for folks who are doing startups, anything from architecture to design, this should be a really great tool at about 1/3 of the price that Microsoft charges. It's not often that you have a player coming into the hardware business that is still able to get 1/3 of the price of the major marketers out there. Because we are not making these in the quantity of millions. But we would like to. And if we do, we will get them at around the same price as you can buy an iPad today. Yep. All right. I want to show you a couple of applications on this. So one of them would be looking through astronomy. So a lot of the kids that we're working with are using that these days. The 4K just gets them a lot more interested. And second of all, design, like we were talking about earlier. So you can really actually show how a part works and convey visually what is happening. Are there any questions? So our first customer is a charter school, and they're the first school in the country to have 4K touchscreens in every classroom. There are 27 classrooms and over 600 kids there, 75% of whom don't have access to the internet, 80% of whom are on meal plans. So getting the people who are most left behind to catch up is as critical to our mission as I think it should be to all of yours, in terms of making sure that we have a country that is as strong tomorrow when technology is going to be much more of a basis of the economy than it is today.
And you do basic teaching or do you do advanced teaching?
I was asking if it's just basic teaching or advanced teaching. Right now it's up to middle school, so whatever you might consider that. There's certainly some complexities involved at the 5th and 6th grade, but of course nothing like you would have in the CAD world.
So what's unique about your touchscreen technology? I mean, is that what makes it price conveniently?
It's optical, so it's much more scalable than any other touchscreen technology out there. The smallest screen we make is 24 inches. The largest one is 14 feet by 8 feet. And theoretically, we could go up to 100 feet wide. So it's an array of LEDs and sensors. The secret ingredient is in the math that is involved in telling specifically where your finger or whatever it is you're using is located to within 2 millimeters. And to do that at 60 frames a second. The hardware itself is just LEDs and sensors, but without the firmware, it's 20-year-old technology.
Okay, great.